This is the beginning of bad hypebeast. Good hypebeast is SB.
Repeat that.
This is the beginning of bad hypebeast.
Wow. That's a key line. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to a very special episode of Hype Talk. And like always, we got Big Boy Johnny.
What it do?
We got Tang, aka Puerto Rico.
What up, y'all?
We got Sky Pilot the dog, and today we are gonna be going over the top 10 retros of the early 2000s. All right, y'all ready to go over these sneakers? Let's go. All right, so in no particular order, the first sneaker in the early 2000s that we want to bring up in the top 10, we got the 01 Breads and then the Navy ones right here.
The
first thing that comes to my mind, Andrew Fung and David Fung actually camped out for these in Nike Town. I wasn't allowed to go. These were too expensive, but these dropped 160 bucks. They came with the Jordan keychain. That is actually my fondest memory of the 01 Jordan Bread.
When it comes to the bread ones, especially this model, the 01s, Kanye West.
Oh yeah. When he was first rocking them, he was rocking
this pair right here, and it made me fall in love with the Jordan 1. I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't really on the Jordan 1s. I was like, what? These are like a fake dunk or something like that.
Fake dunk. That's
but Kanye put me on the bread ones, man.
I know what you're saying, because before even Kanye started putting them on, the DMP ones with the pack and everything, I bought a pair on eBay for like 40 bucks.
Yeah.
They were stupid cheap.
There was like no hype on them.
There was no hype on them. And would you say this is one of the first sneakers he put that effect on?
Yes. The whole Kanye wearing whatever shoe, it was the bread ones.
Yes, sir.
Especially these, and then he started rocking the DMP ones. He started rocking any bread one because he couldn't get his hands on like the 01 breads.
And then he went on to the band ones.
Yep.
Band ones. All right, so for the 01 ones, do you have a memory or not really?
Not too big of a memory for me, man. I just know that every sneakerhead like had a pair of breads in their collection.
Okay. So let's move on to the next sneaker. We got the And1 Tai Chi Mids 2000s. These are what Vince Carter obviously won the dunk contest in.
Carter with his first stop. Let's go.
These are retroing, and they retroed at a limited batch at Complex Con recently. What do these mean to you?
I would just say, man, And1 at the time, you go to Foot Action, you get to spend $100, and they give you a mixtape, and they doing things you ain't never seen before.
Crazy, literally everyone was getting that mixtape you're talking about, going home and mimicking the moves.
Yeah, me slipping sliding on the ground.
Show them the crowd some quick. Show them the crowd. Show them the crowd. You got the little jelly in there, man. The And1 Tai Chi Mids, so what did they mean to you, memory-wise?
Vince Carter.
Vince Carter?
Vince Carter, half man, half amazing. Before Zach LaVine and all these crazier dunkers, this was the best dunk contest ever.
Yeah, it was insane. Like
when he said, huh, in the Raptors, you already knew he shut it all. He shut it down.
He shut it down. The And1 Tai Chis.
Yeah. So this shoe right here, this remind me of just good old Duncan before everyone got acrobatic and crazy.
What's crazy is that
before they started becoming unhuman. Nowadays it's crazy.
Yeah.
All right. So another sneaker very nostalgic to the 2000s. Obviously, this is a top 10 sneakers of the early 2000s.
Okay.
Obviously, we got to talk about the mids and the lows. What were you guys on? Mids or lows? Air Force Ones, man.
This is before your boy had cankles, you know what I'm saying?
Oh my! Now you
I was breaking the ankles with no cankles.
No, mids were arguably even more popular.
Man, for me, they went with every jersey you possibly had.
Yeah, for sure.
It's just you want to be different, you went with the mids.
Yeah.
What I liked about the mids, I just felt like it gave you more bang for your buck. You got a higher cut, you got a strap.
They were more expensive, right?
They were like $5 more expensive,
$5 more.
but you're getting a strap.
Yeah, true.
You get higher cut. For me, I always got an all white shoe and all black shoe. I would get the white mids and the black lows.
Oh, okay. I was never a fan of the black lows, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so I'm not gonna lie. I had a lot of white on white forces in my lifetime, man.
There was a period of time where you only wore it no more than twice.
No more than twice. But you know, I almost got fired a couple times from Foot Locker because I kept buying his on discount so frequently.
Thank you, bro. You've been looking out. You've been looking out. Like, were they asking why are you getting so many forces?
They were like, dude, this is like your 6'1" in 2 weeks. I'm like, man, this is hot. But you know, what you guys don't know is that back in the day, these used to sell out. Back to school, these were
you can get your hands on it. It was crazy when they started upping the price and then lowering the quality. Do you guys remember that little time period?
Because there was a period of time where you get the best of the best quality, $74.99 for the lows. That's when it was like the peak.
Next sneaker I want to talk about are the Vance Syndicate W-Tap Wings Authentics. Right here, bam. let me know. These are kind of like, in my opinion, the first hyped Vans. What I saw.
Collaboration.
Yeah.
I agree.
You guys remember these?
I don't remember that.
I don't remember these.
No.
I
These
wasn't
are-
hyped on these though.
They were sought after.
I wasn't hyped on these. I was hyped on all the other models that came after this one.
bone.
like
This is what set it off.
You're saying the maroon pack.
The maroon pack.
These are what set it off, though.
This
for
was set
sure.
off. Yeah, shoot. I
These
didn't
were
know
pretty
that.
hard to get.
I was more into the crossbones.
Yeah, I was
The
gonna say
crossbones.
yeah,
These
yeah.
ones are like the little
W, yeah.
Little W, yeah.
And also tying in what we're talking about into the sneakers now, if you guys see the Fear of God Vans, you cannot deny that these don't have some
the
influence.
nostalgia from it, right?
Yeah, the Fear of God.
Blocking.
Yeah,
where the logo will be at.
I don't think there's no coincidence.
You just call it how you see it.
I call it how I see it. So,
agree.
you know, no, tying it into relevant sneakers right now. All right, so next sneaker up I want to talk about are the Jordan 4 Lightnings that dropped back in the day. What did these mean to you?
This just remind me of high school, man. This is the peak years of my collecting, I would say.
Okay,
man.
the
And these are
Lightnings?
Yeah, the Lightnings.
Got
I
it.
would say I wasn't able to get any one of them. I remember my friends got the tour packs. I got some that had the Lightnings, but I was
the
never-
cheaper ones.
The cheaper ones, but
Yeah.
But I was not able to get any one of them.
This reminds me of when Jordan used to come with the limited clothing that came with the shoe.
Yeah, the rare air is what they
The
call
rare,
it.
it's almost like a pack, like
Rare,
a whole
yeah.
package deal. And I feel like, you know, you see brands like Kith, 95 kind of doing that with like his A6 and everything.
Yeah.
Very
Jordan
true.
brand's first one to do that.
Okay, that's a good point.
You know?
I would say that's when I first started noticing Jordan clothing with the Jordan sneakers.
Yeah, and they were swaggy too. Track jackets, hoodies. This is probably one of the first shoes to be limited, right? Probably one of the first.
The Navy Jordan ones on 01 that we dropped
Those are limited.
were one of like 25,000.
Okay. Oh,
limited. These didn't say rare air, but the tour ones, the white
Yep.
with the yellow,
You
yeah.
can flip the little tongue. and everything.
Yeah.
But these were really rare though.
These were rare.
These
were
were
rare.
in the Lightning Thunder pack.
Yeah. Moving on, we got in 2009, we got the Louis Vuitton Jaspers from Kanye West. This was in another tier for myself. I
Yes.
knew they dropped. I knew they were expensive. That's as far as it went.
This
I
was
couldn't even try
before.
getting them.
This was before you can even wear something like this. Like I
Yeah.
think nowadays, you'll see this on a regular basis. when it
Yeah.
came out. But this was even before people even thought of designer. This was people even thought of cut and sew.
Yeah.
Like we were still rocking just regular
Yeah.
t-shirts and stuff like that. So this shoe was just a little too wild.
It was too wild. It was too wild. It was. You knew it was a big deal, but it was like too far removed from what we were doing.
I'm not gonna lie, when this shoe dropped, I didn't know what Louis Vuitton was.
Really?
I'm not gonna
I don't
lie.
blame you.
Wow.
I didn't know.
You gotta have big money.
I didn't know anything about Louis Vuitton. I didn't know that, because you know, I'm on Jumpman.com.
Yeah, true.
You know, I'm not
Yeah.
on like the fashion vlogs where they tell you what shoes are releasing.
This is
what
a
you're saying.
norm nowadays.
This is
see what
crazy.
you-
This
yeah.
is
a
normal.
norm nowadays.
Everyone knows about this.
20K nowadays. 20K.
Wow.
07, we have the Spizikes. This was a big deal. This was like the first like Jordan brand, you know, like
Mashup.
Mashup, yeah. That's a good point. I mean, what did these mean to you? A lot of people.
Fakes. Jordan Brand was like, you know what? People are producing fakes.
Yep, they're gonna do
They're
it
like the
themselves.
Dubs, you know,
I see-
before the Dub
yeah,
Zeros
I
and
see
stuff
what
like
you're
that.
saying.
So let's just do our own, what we want. And I remember when they came out, the white versions of the Spiz, like,
No, they
oh,
killed these. These killed these. Those were limited as well. The white
These
ones.
were the only two colorways that I liked
Killed the game.
and I respected.
For sure.
As crazy and as mashed up as this is, they could have never done it any better. This is
No
dope.
colorway.
Okay,
will ever.
what is it about this sneaker right now that they did right that Don C didn't do right with his legacies?
Oh,
You know what I mean?
okay,
'Cause-
is the placement of your favorite shoes.
okay.
What's your favorite spot of the threes? The toe box. What's your favorite part of the fours? Probably the little side strap with the mesh in the side.
Got it, okay.
There's certain elements that they took. What's your favorite part of the five?
So you're saying they took the best parts of the best sneakers?
Yes.
Yes.
Don C didn't do that.
Don C used other shoes, I felt
Yeah.
like. This was straight Jordan.
Yeah,
The hottest Jordan.
Don C's a little different. You know, he'll pick some 8s and some 7s and like.
And then he put some, what are the tech challenges in it? And he
Yeah.
put other shoes. I can see what you're trying to do, Don C, but man, the Spizikes is
pick
the.
the good sneakers. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
man, Spizikes going down in history for the best matchup.
Here's another sneaker that we talk about pretty often. In 06, these dropped. When they dropped though, I didn't understand them. I didn't want them. They were just too expensive.
What you got? What you got?
We got the Supreme Nike Blazers.
Oh my goodness.
So what did these mean to you in 06? I'm talking 06. Did you even know that they dropped? I didn't.
I didn't know that they dropped, but when you were collecting sneakers and you saw the prices on the forums,
Oh, yeah,
it
yeah.
made you wonder like, who would rock these? And
These,
why
yeah,
are
these
out
were
there?
wild.
These were crazy.
These were wild. These
A
were wild.
Supreme collaboration. Got the snakeskin, the quilted leather, the Gucci with the gold toggle on the back.
Back then,
Oh my
like we said, Gucci was crazy.
This is
The
crazy.
red and green.
And I'm not gonna lie, I didn't appreciate it. I did not appreciate it.
You were rocking regular blazers.
You know, you were the
was.
purple ones with the snakeskin on the Nike side.
Those are hot. Those are hot.
Were those SBs?
They were SBs. They were SBs.
Were they?
They were Zoom exclusives.
Yeah, they were.
You know, the first photo that made me really want the red pair was when Kanye was lacing them.
Yeah,
That's what
with
I was
the polo.
like.
You know what's
I need
crazy,
these, I
man?
need
After
these.
you talking about Kanye and us reminiscing about this a little bit, Nike owe Kanye a lot, man. I don't think I realized how much influence.
After this video.
Yeah, man.
He
how
probably
much
wanted to
influence-
retro these.
Yeah.
They probably like, no, we ain't trying to do that.
Yeah. All right, so for the next sneakers, these all drop within a 1 to 2 year span. So we'll just group them all together.
Okay.
We got the Uncles, Tiffany's, Heineken's, Cali's,
Okay.
Pigeons, Jedi's,
Oh my
Supreme
goodness.
Dunks.
Oh
So this is when
goodness.
SB was hot.
I mean, we already had a video about these, but we couldn't, like, you know, disclude them from this video.
Yep.
What do you
have
guys
to.
think about? I'm just real.
First thing that comes to mind, man, collabs.
collabs.
You know how big collabs are right now, right? Everybody wants to collab with Supreme. Everyone wants to collab together. Whatever they can do to collab. But this is when collabs were so meaningful. Like you had to
Yeah.
understand. You had to go back to see.
Yes, sir.
I didn't even know what Supreme was at the time.
Okay.
Yo, that's a good point, because this shoe right here is how I knew about Supreme.
It made you get into streetwear.
Yes.
more than
Okay,
just shoes.
that's interesting because your perspective is opposite of mine. I didn't actually look into the collaborators that much. You know, there's
okay.
like the Futuras and the you know the
Ray guns
The Ray guns.
and
I didn't look
Tiffany's.
into the other brand. I just cared about the colorway. For
That's
myself
true.
personally,
That's a good point. Hey, at the end of the day, it reminds me of hype. It's all
I just
hype.
cared about the hype, yeah.
Colors, collaborations, exclusivity.
Yeah,
That's what it all
I-
is.
yeah.
That's what it is when it comes to SBs.
And then we also have the Nike Yeezy Ones 2009. I kind of put these in the same category as too expensive. They weren't in my range.
They were way ahead of their time.
Yeah.
Like I didn't understand it. I hated the shoes. It was very underappreciated.
It was at the time. It wasn't. I don't think a lot of people saw the Yeezy Ones and how they see them now.
Dude.
They were kind of like slept on.
This is the beginning of bad hypebeast. Good hypebeast is SB.
Repeat that. Repeat that. Right there.
This is the beginning of bad hypebeast.
Wow.
That's a key line.
You know what I'm
Hey,
saying?
if we ever did a video top 5 lines from Hype Talk, that's a good one. Okay.
You know, I hope you guys understand when I say this. SBs and everything we just talked about earlier, that's good hype beast. Everyone was like, oh, you know, you camped out for those.
Yeah.
No resell, no, you buy what you like.
Yep.
This right here was like a shoe where it was kind of weird.
Yeah, my sneaker for that, like what caused the bad hype beast, in my personal opinion, were the Galaxy foam posits. That's when I really saw like, what the f is going on over here? Like people reselling them, you know, like there's fights and crazy. Like that was my personal sneaker that started bad hype beast.
Okay.
All right, so we got the Yeezy Ones, and then last but not least, number 1 sneaker that dropped in the early 2000s, obviously the Undefeated Forest.
Oh my God.
2005. Undefeated was huge back in the day. Anytime you visited LA, you're gonna go to the
go
Undefeated store, so you know about these.
I remember I was so ignorant when I first started collecting shoes that I was like, oh, what are those? I'm gonna get me those. And people just laughed at me like, I was like, why are you laughing? They're like, you can't get these even
These
if
are
you
samples.
tried.
Yeah.
Even if you
Friends,
did whatever you want,
family.
you couldn't get these.
These were hard. These were
These
hard.
were crazy. I guess these were auctioned only on eBay. This is when eBay was like, eBay was StockX,
Yes.
it was Stadium Goods, it was Fight Club. You couldn't get exclusive shoes unless it was on eBay.
Yeah.
So I guess
eBay was-
Undefeated, Nike and eBay partner up. They were ending at $1,000, maybe $2,000. Everyone
Crazy.
was like,
Really? That
this
cheap?
is yes, that cheap.
I didn't know that.
But at the time, people were
the
like,
time, it was like, that's too crazy.
That's crazy.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. This is what started my love for the olive. You know what I mean? The Undefeated Forest.
I don't blame you, buddy.
Yeah.
Come on, man. They did the olive, nice little suede on there.
They did
hit it
these
with
right.
the orange right there.
What I really like about this, I gotta pinpoint this. The orange on the laces
Yep.
is a little random, right? A lot of
Yep.
people were like, that's kind of random.
Yeah.
But they didn't make it random because you see the lining
inside
on the
lining.
inside. That's what brought it all
And the air
together.
bubble.
The air bubble, like it all comes together really nicely. The white midsole.
Perfect shoe.
These are what make me excited for the Travis Scotts. All right, guys, so you know, we just went down memory lane for the top 10 sneakers that dropped in the early 2000s. With that being said, what was your favorite sneaker that we went over? You know, most iconic to you personally.
Yeah.
And then we'll wrap this one up.
Man, if I could start, I think I'm gonna have to say the Supreme Dunk SBs, man.
Okay.
It was just such a fun time. I think at that time of the era, you had to be a part of a community.
Yeah.
You had to be a part of a forum, and you had to have friends that were close to you that you can actually talk about it with, like these
Talk
guys,
to 'em.
right?
I see what you're saying.
But then, you know, nowadays it seems a little bit more distant to me. People aren't as, I guess, there's not as much camaraderie to it.
Oh, no.
So, you know,
It's cutthroat out there. It's
Yeah,
cutthroat.
it's a vibe. It's a vibe for me, you know?
Shoe, for me, I'm gonna have to go with the red Supreme Blazers. Because at the time, I loved Blazers, I love Gucci, and I love red. Okay? You put all those three things together.
I see what you're saying.
That shoe was there.
What you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why I like that's why I like those.
For myself, you know, the sneaker that really stands out to me are just a classic pair of white on white mid Forces, you know?
Wow.
I have a lot of good memories with Forces. Like, girls, to be honest, man, if you had a fresh pair of Forces,
It's true,
They was on
man.
you.
they was on you,
They
man.
was on you.
You had to be the Air Force King, man.
I
think you
officially
were.
dubbed myself the Air Force One King back in the
were,
day, you know
man.
what I mean?
Crazy.
All right,
crazy.
guys, that pretty much wraps it up for the top 10 sneakers that dropped in the early 2000s. You guys gotta let me know if you guys disagree or agree with the list. Let us know what your favorite sneaker was that dropped in that era. Do you guys even remember when these dropped? Let us know. Do you guys have any memories? And that's pretty much it. Shout out to Johnny, shout out to Tan, shout out to Sky, and until next time, we out.
Peace.
All right, guys, thank you for checking out that video, the top 10 sneakers to drop in the early 2000s. We kind of, you know, just wanted to switch it up a little bit in today's video, talking about some older sneakers. Shout out to David Fung. He was talking about this idea, and, you know, I thought it was pretty cool, you know what I mean?
Sometimes you gotta take them back.
You gotta take 'em
to
back.
when the sneakerheads were real sneakerheads. Let them
know,
real
Tan.
Wow, you
sneakerheads.
just called out a lot of people right now.
Come on, man.
All right, that's pretty much it, guys, and until next time, we out.
Peace.